Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone is really doing well. Welcome to this live stream. It's 28th of October, and yes, I'm very well, feeling better. The fever is gone now, but still a little bit of cold and cough. But now I think I don't have a much of a issue. Um, Thank you so much for your patience. Well, if you remember, I mentioned 20,800 is a very big level of resistance. So, I mean, that's where exactly we got a rejection from. And I was expecting, honestly, if you ask me, I would like to see, I just wanted to see this move straight over towards 21,800, just as to have a big liquidation on the upside. And but so far, I mean, we just rejected. So now I think what I feel right now is the way the structure is, this looks like a wave four to me, and we're probably just going to roll on and accumulate here around 20,000 bucks, and we need to hold the levels of 20,000, and we need to do something like this, and that's exactly how I'm seeing. I'm expecting one more push up towards 21,800, and then afterwards, I see that the fifth wave is gonna be, but that's gonna be the final wave, guys, and you don't expect it to probably go towards 23,024 because if we do got an impulsive move, straight up continuous impulsive move towards 21,800, yes, that would have been very awesome. But yes, we got a rejection, so now I think that's only one chance left for bulls to literally pump it back up towards 21,736, and I think this is going to be the big zone for us to for shorts with an invalidation above August equilibrium levels. I mean, this is going to be very interesting play over the weekend, guys. I do think that BTC is going to probably chop and accumulate over the weekend. Maybe even we might see shit coins pumping hard because the rotation of money is going to happen. So shit coins are going to pump probably. That's what I think. Let's have a look at the Ethereum as well, guys. I think yesterday when I was mentioning, I was not sure if wave three is in. I was like, we might get one more push up, or that's this is like a wave three, and we might just have a move down towards 1480. So I was not sure, honestly, if you ask me. But the three drive that we got previously as well, that's a very clean three drive, and that three drive played very well. I also gave a short on Ethereum around 1578, if you remember, but we booked slight profits and got stopped out at break even. And if we were right, it would have been 5.3% move on the downside. The plan was pretty much good, I think. But nevertheless, I think this is how I see it. I think we need to hold the 1486 levels, and even 1480. 1480 is an invalidation level of the downside move. So if you start losing the levels of 1480, then we can literally accelerate towards 1440 as well. And probably then we might just form, a very nice stop over here, a bounce like here, and then probably dump. So you don't want to see a dump towards 1440, guys. If you start saying looking for a dump towards 1440, then that would be really bad actually. Then any pump that we got around that we're gonna get around 1520, 1540 is going to be our take profit zone. We exit our longs, take profits, and enjoy. And then probably start looking for short positions. But right now, I'm just riding my longs. I'm happy with the positions I have for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and FTM, and a few other roles that I have. I got a long as well on Ape. I bought spots as well on Ape. It's going to come and fill out your limits for the spot packs. I've already got in at the market price 50%. Right, rest of my orders are lying anywhere under 4.578 and 4.55. I'm just gonna get my long order fills. I think this is a very nice, um, it's a very high confidence position. You guys, you see here what we got. This was our support breakdown, retest of the support pump, retest pump, and now we got a breakdown here again, retest dump, and now we're getting a flip. I am expecting this flip to hold, and if we do holding this flip, it's going to be very nice long for or ride for Ape. In my opinion, the spot position should make us nice gains. For like 29-30% gains. So let's hope it plays out. APT guys, two plans I laid out. Bear, we were having the bear plan. I was also mentioning that my primary plan is the bear plan. This was our bear plan. You go into inside the 9.69 to 9.8, reject, and come back down to us, 7.7. But yesterday I also posted a bullish case. Bullish case was that let's say if this is one, two, and this is three, A, B, C something, W, X, and Y. So this is your wave four accumulation happens, and this is your bullish plan. So you need to have both the bear and bull case. The bull case will be invalidated once you start losing the levels of 7.75. So I'm having a short on APT around 9.55. Remember Aave? If I mentioned that this is golden pocket is going to be retested, and that's where the short should be, because this is A, B, and we are going to have C move down on the A. So it's a very nice rejection from those levels, and it's playing very nicely. Solana, yesterday I posted a plan for Solana. I was looking for a sweep of this highs, and I was looking for somewhere around this zone to short around 32.5, 30.32.9. But it seems like was a high liquidation zone, and someone got literally filled their shorts over here. And now I think what you would want to see is a retest of the trend line around 29.7. Ideally, I would have long $30 if we would have, retested here. But as we having a trend line at these levels, and you also have a nice support, so I was looking for those levels to long. But if you look at from the perspective of the fibs, so what you should be eyeing from the fifth perspective is the zero point 0.5 and golden pocket zone. So the zero point 0.5 is at um, 30.2, and golden pocket is at 29.7, which also coincides with your nice trend line support. So practically what I think is we might see a LTF bounce from 30.2 to $30. This is where we might see LTF bounce, and if we do reclaim this range lows that we have here, it will go like here. Okay, it will go like this. You need to reclaim this range lows of 30.7. So for LTF, I think 30.2 to maybe $30 is going to have a nice bounce. What I think. Now that bounce can be a small bounce, something like this. It can do reject and then down, something like this possibility. Because if you look at from there, this is clearly is something 1, 2, and AB 1, 2, and we are in the wave 3 right now, 4 and 5. So very hard to say that it is doing ABC or it's doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the way the structure is looks to me like this is A, irregular expanded flat B, and we are doing wave C right now. So if you look at from the fifth perspective, your long zone should be, or the invalidation level, it should be 29.6. You should literally write with a very, very tight stop loss. And look at the golden pocket zone as well. The golden pocket zone is also coinciding there at 29.7, which means that 29.5 is your hard invalidation. You should have a stop loss. If it breaks inside this, it's gonna rock. So that should be your hard stop loss, guys. For Sol, if you're literally planning to long around 30.2 to 29.9. So this should be a long zone with a very tight stop loss. It's just gonna be very tight stop loss. The stop loss should be 29.6. Don't play it manually, just ride it. Here's the dominant. I think it's gonna probably retest this range highs that we have here. I'm expecting it to reject because the way the structure is, this is A, B, this is your B, and this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more push down. So what I'm expecting is a rejection from the range low levels of 7.41%. That's where exactly I'm eyeing to reject. But if we start flipping this levels as a support, then I have a problem. Then probably I will look for take profits on my longs. Everything I will just take profits because the profits are nice, and I just don't want to give my profits back. So that's exactly how I would like to play. Looking to total, guys. Yes, we got a rejection, but remember what I mentioned is you got a range right now. So this is your range. You see, that's your range. So we rejected from the range low levels of 960 billion, even equilibrium levels of 966. What you'd want to see is a retest, a retest of $919 billion. Still, total is above these levels of 919, or I would say to be more precise, 919.8. That's exactly equivalent to 920 billion. Still, we're above these levels. We are bullish, and I expect a total to pump towards 886 and 881 Fibonacci levels, somewhere around $1.02 trillion levels. That's exactly what I'm eyeing for total, guys. We don't see that we are still having a HTF bearish structure. No, structure is still bullish. I'm not seeing any bearish structure so far. I do think that dips are for buying. Still, as I mentioned, if we start losing levels of 1480 on, let's say, H4 or even H1, I would say, then it is going to rock towards 1440 levels. And after that, it's just gonna form on the weekend, scam bounce and bounce towards 1550 and then further dump something like this. If it's just gonna do something like this, over the weekend, you're gonna get a bounce, not higher highs, lower highs. and then dump. So that's exactly how over the weekend we might just look for. However, I don't see why, because you look at the structure. You got an impulsive move here. Okay, you got an impulsive move. A, B, and C something. Now let's say this is A, okay, A of something, and this is B. And even if this is B, this is one, two, and this is one, two, three, four, and five. So that's your wave three here, A, B, C, wave four. And you need to have the five wave moves for the final wave five to complete this big one, two, three, four, five. So, so that's the reason I do think that there is a one more move up left on ETH till we are holding the $1,480 levels. That's what I think for now, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the plan that I have for, what do you say, Bitcoin, Ethereum on the longer term time frame. And for BTC, I think the levels we need to hold here is going to be 1909, 19,977. That's the absolute levels you want to hold, basically these levels. You don't want to see it break. A week is fine, but you don't want to see it break, because if we start losing that levels, that would be bad for 19,977 levels. And from there, I would like to see accumulation, something like this. You would want to see. And I just want to see a pump up here till 2nd November, or maybe the next FOMC date that's going to happen. And on the second FOMC date, probably we reject and we dump like this again. That would be nice, you know. So something like this would make more sense to me. So let's see how things play. For now, the structure is intact. I don't see any bearishness. I am just going to hold my longs. If you really would like to long, I think 1480 is a nice level with an invalidation. A tight stop loss on a 1476.5 for a scalp. If it gets stopped out, then you should be attempting to long only and only at 1441.6 with your stop loss on a 1420, and your take profit target should be anything above the levels of 1700, 1694. That should be your take profit targets. This is the plan that I have. Bitcoin dominance is at support right now. I just want this red zone that we have here to lose. Once it loses, we're going to have a party. So far, it's holding, so I can't say if it's just gonna break or hold. But for now, it's simply holding, guys, which I don't like it. So, you know, yeah, 21.8 is what I'm eyeing overall on BTC till we are above the levels of 19,977. For Ethereum, till we are above the levels of 1480, we can have nice push. In case if we lose 1480, we will go to 1440 and then probably gonna not gonna make higher highs but lower highs and then dump. Okay, that's what I have for um, overall market. Total looks amazing. Total is not showing any sign of bearishness so far. The total looks amazing to me. Total 2 is retesting the support it has. It's like a big range highs retest, and I think it's this is the levels where you retest and give us a nice pump up to the levels of 582. We got rejection from the green line, that's 564 billion, and now it's gonna be a retest of 580 billion. And the range lows, I'm not sure if we're gonna get this levels, but at least we should get a pump towards 580 billion. Now we need to hold the levels. What levels are we eyeing, guys? The range highs of 544 billion dollar levels. So you need to hold the 544. You hold 544, and it's gonna pump. So I think we are coming to a very crucial level. These are not the levels where you should be looking for shots. No, the shots are not here. The shots were up there when I was looking here. 1564, 1583. These are the short levels, but these are not the levels where you should be looking for short, in my opinion. Um, let's have a look at the chart Cardano. Um, let's have a look at the chart. Well, well. Perfect rejection from our zone. Um, I mentioned that the Cardano is going to go up like here and retest, and from there it's rejected almost like 8.7% down from our zone that we have here. Now, what are the levels for Cardano? I think Cardano, the way the dump looks like, looks to me that Cardano is going to have a bearish impulsive move. So a slight push in, a $50 push in BTC price is going to have 1.5% push on dump on Cardano. So it's gonna be like, because this is going to be like so it's just having a move down. The support, logical support is at 37.2. It's gonna dump like this, and probably on the weekend we might get a retest like here. and then further dump like this. So that's how I see Cardano, guys. The structure is not looking that bullish to me on the Cardano, honestly, if you have to say. Unless we start flipping these levels, we are once we start flipping these levels, it's bullish. Till we don't flip, it's bearish. So you have to play the bearish game right now. If bearish, um, Sushi is of interest to me, but not the way I would like to just go all in. But it is holding a very nice levels of 1.622. The 1.622 is a very crucial level. It's a range highs and a very, very crucial level for me. Perfectly playing the game plan. Look at how the Sushi has played out. We shorted here. We wanted to long here in the blue zone, but it just front fronted by few cents at the 0.382 fib. I wanted to give the limit over here, but it front run anyways. Right now, my target for Sushi is very close because from the perspective of the fibs, just look at how the Sushi is doing. But we already rejected from the 1:1 extension, and it can go very well inside this blue box. So anywhere inside this blue box is going to be the top for the Sushi. Now we have to have a lower than time frame wave counts. Um, so anywhere inside this is going to be the top, and maybe it can even go and extend to 1618 as well. Anything above 1618 is going to be invalidation, and it's just going to pump towards the bigger supply that we have here. This is like a big weekly supply that we have here. For now, LTF looks good on Sushi, guys. One more all that, and the last all that I'm going to take today on the live is Phil. Phil, yesterday when I mentioned Phil looks good, me, John, and everyone were discussing. But what did I mention is you want to look Phil, you look for Phil on the retest of the support, and this is exactly where the support is. You see the support, it's exactly where the support is. You hold these levels, and we might get a bounce like this from here, and then probably come back down like this. That can mean that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, like this. However, if you lose these levels, it's just going to dump towards 4.7883. And hence, I think Phil is at a very big support, guys. If anybody's eyeing too long, I think it's a very nice risk reward play for you guys, in my opinion. So it's a very, very nice long. It can be very, very nice long, in my opinion, guys. So yeah, Bill looks great. It is at a support right now. It is indeed at a very, very nice support. Okay. That's all. That's all what I have for now. I will be giving you again another update during the New York session, because I'm just gonna wait and watch on how the today meeting is going to, or today event is going to bring to the table. But the way it looks to me like that, this level needs to hold for the wave four, guys. That's what I have for now. And that's all, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and just check it out this live if you really need, the levels, our thoughts, our game plan. This is exactly where you should be looking for. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.